I know you've done this a million times, but as I understand it, the name of the band came from a kind of like a barroom trivia game, right? The question about...
Yo, it's Tom Petty's backing band.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the wrong answer.
It was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it caught your eye.
Yeah, and I was always a fan of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Right.
And I just thought it sounded really tough.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm trying to think about growing up in Dayton, Ohio, and which you did. And was Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, was that sort of like a teen object of your affection when you were growing up?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It's kind of a. I guess I don't know what the music scene is. I know there's bluegrass music there, but I imagine it's a good, sort of Midwestern home for rock and roll and metal and soul, and the Ohio Players came from there. A whole bunch of people came from there, right?
Oh yeah, I grew up on the Ohio Players, and then in high school the Breeders, Cannonball exploded. It was like number one, and Guided by Voices are a huge inspiration to me. Bob Pollard and. Yeah. Did
you know you were going to play music and write when you were in high school, or did that happen later?
Oh, gosh. I've wanted to sing since I was old enough to think about doing anything. I might have been like 3 years old.
Yeah.
I walked around and told everybody I was going to be a singer, and they'd be like, sing for us. And I'm like, no.
And then you found your way to Cincinnati and put a band together. What drew you there?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What drew you to Cincinnati?
My boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
I met, and he was from there, so yeah.
Did you ever pay attention to Chrissie Hynde? Because I think of her as being sort of an Ohio rock chick, too. She's a strong female presence, songwriter.
Oh,
She's
definitely.
someone you knew about?
Yeah, I think that the Pretenders influence hit me a bit later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, definitely. Chrissie Hynde's pretty amazing.
And I understand you had a Mahalia Jackson song as part of your musical DNA when you were little, right?
Oh, yeah. We had this Christmas compilation, which I would sneak and keep in my room year-round, and it was Mahalia Jackson would sing "Go Tellin' on the Mountain," and I would just play that over and over. I love that song.
So starting when you were a little girl?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I love those moments, when we bump into something that has meaning for us. You don't know where it's going to come from, and you don't know why. It doesn't always make sense, but we latch onto it, and it sort of provides a little stability in a way, doesn't it? Have a little song that you can reach for and play 1,000 times.
Yeah. There's definitely I find I guess everything in music, comfort, enjoyment. I mean, I have a good time. I mean, it's just sort of when I'm sad, I listen to music. It sort of encapsulates everything.
In case you just tuned in, you're listening to eTown, here with Erika Wennerstrom from Heartless Bastards. The new record is called Restless Ones, and it's a pretty confessional writing. There's lots of lonely themes and sadness on there, and amongst the energetic music. But I think one of the lines of yours was, "The journey is the destination." So it's about that process, right, of just going through those emotional highs and lows. And
yeah, that was inspired by the Dan Eldon book, the Journals of Dan Eldon, The Journey is the Destination. Right. I got turned on to that book while writing this album, and although I sort of took that line directly from that title, it just sort of encapsulated being more in the moment, and I think sometimes I spend too much time looking forward or looking backward, and it's sort of a reminder to be more present.
Yeah. There's some other literary references in your lyrics too, and in your song titles. So you guys big readers? Are you an avid reader when you're on the road traveling all the time?
Yeah, I like to. I think lately I should read a little more lately. I go through phases.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah. There's a Tristesse on her new albums, inspired by the Jack Kerouac book, and oh gosh, there's more.
There's more, yeah. But it's all about the discovery. I know that you also worked on a score for a movie, Winter in the Blood, was writing songs for a film. Was that a whole different songwriting experience for you?
Oh, this was especially unusual because a lot of times when you score a film, the film's already been filmed. Mm-hmm. But they wanted to film the song to the music, so like the actors and the crew would listen to the score that we put together right before they would tape scenes. And I had read the book. It's based on a book by James Welch, and I just sort of put myself in the character's head, and we did a bunch of different versions. I was really inspired by Bob Dylan's soundtrack for Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, because there's like a lot of repeating themes, musical themes on there. So we worked with Chris Funk from the Decemberist Sonnet, and we would do like 10 versions of the same song. We're like, how about this is the drunken version? And we would just play really like out of beat. And
Here's the mariachi version.
Play like a kazoo or, So it was fun to just try all these different ways to do the same song.
Yeah.
We had the version where we put the AC-30 on a mountain behind the cabin that we were recording on and put a microphone about 75 feet away from it. That was pretty fun.
I was
that was the voice of God, by the way. I don't know where
That's Jesse in the band back there.
Sorry.
Jesse.
Turn this microphone.
We were up late at a friend's ranch in Marfa, Texas, and she's like 20 miles from the town, but we had the AC-30 on blast, and it's blasting off the canyons, and I'm like, you sure we're not going to wake up the neighbors?
Well, so did you find then when they made the movie, since they hadn't filmed the movie when you were making the music, did you find that, oh, look, there's the drunken version of the song has now spawned this whole drunk scene where everybody's having a party? Or, I mean, did you see any of that stuff, evidence of your song influencing the film in that way?
Hard
to know, I guess, yeah.
I guess looking back, there's just like little parts and sections, so I can't place that. I don't know if they used the out-of-time drunken version, in all honesty. I don't recall it.
Yeah. Anyway, it sounds like you're having some fun adventures. You guys travel a lot. I know you're on your way. You get some more touring here in the States, and you go back to Europe, and so you're spending a lot of time on the road. And I know you are firmly settled in Texas, so you're happy down there in Austin. Everybody okay with the recent flooding and all that stuff? Did you fare okay?
Actually, Jesse and the band's house flooded a bit, but I think considering a lot, I think it's going to be all right. And with at least as far as people I know, I feel like everybody's okay. Yeah. I've heard that about other people's loss, and that's horrible. Yeah,
makes you anxious, though, I'm sure, being away from home and then knowing all that stuff, the wacky weather and the things that happen in your hometown when you're not there. So.
Yeah, it was really strange waking up on the bus the other day and everybody's on their phones and, oh God, I was like, what's going on? I could tell something had happened.
Well, it's an interesting lifestyle. Just being a touring musician is an interesting choice, interesting lifestyle. Having a new city every day to kind of go and meet people and share your music and share in your case, very personal lyrics and see what happens. It's kind of brave in a way, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. We're not in our 20s.
Yeah.
So, and we're not millionaires. So we're just doing what we love to do, and I think it's rewarding enough to continue doing.
Well, a lot of people are very happy that you do. So we're going to get back to music. Welcome back, if you would. Thanks, Erika.
Thank you.
Good luck on your restless way. We're going to welcome back, once again, Heartless Bastards.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Nick Forster from eTown. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.